So we're going to go over this foldable together by you watching this video. So you should have got this from Mr. Cheddar, that good-looking teacher, you know. So enough about myself. We fold this like so. Okay, so make sure you're folding it on these lines. I provide those lines for you. All right. Some people call this barn door, two flaps, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so you fold that over like this, and it should be like this. So pause this video, make sure you have it folded right. If you have a question, raise your hand. Mr. Cheddar will answer. I promise. I know the guy pretty well, so I promise he'll answer. But stop this video and fold that foldable. All right, so we are going to start with the is or part foldable. Okay, so we have this formula, I guess you could call it. This proportionate is always the same no matter what. Okay, so on this side, we're going to have a percent over 100. That 100 is always there. It's always the number on bottom. This number up here might change some. Okay, it depends on whatever percent they give you. If it's 25%, it'd be 25. If it's 71%, we put 71. Okay, so you put your percent up here. Do not put the percent symbol up there. You just put the number itself. I promise it's fine by itself. I don't need that percent with it. All right, on the other side, we have something called is or part. Okay, so we have part on top. This is also is. And then we have our whole on bottom or of. So in a lot of these problems, they're going to use the two words is and of. So if they say is a number, that goes on top. If they say of a number, that goes on bottom. Okay, so make sure you have this written down right here on this flat because we're going to use this over and over. You'll notice it's on all four of the flats. It's going to be the same for all of them. So you put is over of, or part over whole, and then percent over 100. Okay, so pause that video right now and write this down. All right, so let's do this example together. A soccer team won 92%. So I'm going to go ahead and write, remember that 100 is always there. And I'm going to go ahead and put my 92 there. I'm not going to put the percent symbol with it. Okay, we don't need to. They won 92% of 120. Let's go ahead and underline that word of. Okay, that is a key word because remember up here we said of goes on bottom, which means that of 120 goes on bottom. How many games is that? Is another key word right there. Is. So our X is going to be on top. So now we have this proportion. Remember, to solve proportion, we've got to cross. All right, we have to cross multiply. Do like this. So we'll have 92 times 120 equals 100x. So now we're going to solve that. Okay, so that'd be 92 times 120 equals 100x, and that's 11,040 equals 100x. Divide by 100, and you're going to see that they won 110.4 games. Now, I know that's not realistic. You can't win 0.4 of a game. Okay, so this 92% was probably it was probably an approximation, but the answer there is 110.4 games. How many games is that? I would say it's 110 games. Okay, so this team won 110 out of 120. That's pretty good winning percentage. They probably have Mr. Cheddar on the team, the soccer star. I'm just kidding, not really. But they probably won 110 games. So that's the first flat. All right, so now we're on the of or whole flat down here at the bottom. Okay, so we're gonna have that same setup: part over whole or is over of equals percent over 100. So make sure you write that right there. So let's look at that example. At Phoenix, 321 students. Okay, so that's our first number. So we know we're going to have 321 somewhere in this proportion. 321 students ride the bus to school. If this number is 80%, so there's a percent. So let's go ahead and put that 80 over 100. If this number is 80% of the school's enrollment, okay, so what number are they talking about here? This number. This number is that, and that goes with is, okay? So that's an is. Remember, is goes on top. So 321 of the school's enrollment. How many students are enrolled? So that of is the school's enrollment, and we don't know that. They don't tell us that. So that's our unknown. Okay, so we're going to cross multiply here. Remember, cross it up. Okay, so 321 times 100, and then we're going to divide that by 80. And you get 401.25 students. Okay, so once again, can we have 0.25 of a student? No. I'm not even going to try to be funny with that. But that means that this is probably a rough estimate. Okay, but that's still our answer. So 401.25. Remember, you just got to use is over of, percent over 100, and cross it up. All right, so now we're on this third flap over here. Okay, so right here, it's talking about a percent. So we're trying to find a percent. Same formula, is over of, percent over 100. And now let's look at this example down here. If 12 out of 30 students in a class are girls, to the nearest percent, what percent of the class is girls? So we are trying to find our percent. So we already know that our x is going to be over 100. Anytime it says what percent, x is over 100. That's your x. Now we got to figure out what goes on top and what goes on bottom. What says of 30, so 30 goes on bottom. 12 is our is, even though it doesn't say the word is. Remember, that's your part. So 12 is part of 30. And so now we're going to cross multiply. Okay, so we do 12 times 100, cross it up. We get 1200 equals 30x. Divide that by 30, because remember, you won't get x by itself. X wants to be a loner. And we see that that is 40%. So x is 40% there. So 40% of the class is girls. Okay, so now I'm going to stop the video. Pause the video, I mean. All right, the last part, right here where it says 100. They're never going to ask you to find that because it's always 100. See that right there? Right there. Always 100. All right, they're never going to ask you to find that. So what they're going to ask you for is. They're going to ask you to find the part. They're going to ask you to find the whole. And then they're going to ask you to find the percent. There's going to be a mixture of all those, but you have this foldable and this video to come back to. And you also have that teacher up there, that Mr. Tedder. He can help you out, okay? These are the type of problems you're going to see. They're going to ask a ton of them. Is this? What percent of the number is this? What is of this? They're going to ask, they're going to word it differently, but every single time you're going to use this. I promise it never changes, okay? So let's stop the video, and I want you to go practice some.